Peace. This is Coach Hudson. Peace to my brothers and sisters. This is for my Black American boxing fans and my non-Black American boxing fans. Today I want to expose the lies, and the only way to kill a deep-rooted lie is to expose the roots of that lie to the truth of sunlight. One of the biggest tricks that has been done on us is to make us believe there is no bias and it's all in our imagination. So for a few moments, I would like to take a journey in time and pose this question. Are we playing victim? Are we pulling the race card? Or was it all just in our imagination? Let's get into this evidence and see if it was just, well,
it was just my imagination.
Nobody's never had no press conferences. I'll pull them above board or show. I said, because these two men are black, it seems that all type powers and people are trying to make these men look bad because they're black. I didn't say anything about no...
What type powers and people?
What type power? You trying to get me to say something else? I'm smart. How old are you? How old are you?
That's not important.
Well, what you ask me questions for? You ask me questions.
This is your press conference.
Well, I ask you a question. How old are you?
This is your press conference.
Don't ask me no more questions. I won't talk to them more. You can't. I just ask you, how old are you? Because you a white man, you the racist. Because I'm a nigga, you gonna ask me questions, and I ain't gonna ask you no questions. I asked you how old you was. You gonna tell me you ain't gonna answer. Well, the hell with you. Get your ass away from me. Get up now. Why you gotta stay here? Get up now. I get up.
Champ, what happened when...
Motherfucker, I told you get up.
Now some of you probably have never seen the greatest of all time in that fashion. And you might be wondering, why did the great one get so upset? Well, I will tell you why. During that time and that atmosphere, which was very fragile, the greatest of all time was trying to point out the fact that sometimes the way you all promote putting a brother against a brother is completely different when he has to face someone of a different race. And the journalists tried to bait him into saying something anti-Semitic. That is what that was about. But you might say, well, that was a long time ago, decades ago to be exact, and things aren't that way anymore. So it might just still be in our imagination. I'll let somebody else tell you for it.
It was just my imagination.
They want him to do before he fought John Ruiz.
Don't tell me about John. Anybody else.
If I didn't fight Larry, stop being ignorant. If I didn't fight and defend my mandatory with the WBC, they would have stripped me. And I don't care what you say or anybody else say. This is my life, it's my prerogative. You do your job, I do mine.
It was just my imagination.
So I'm gonna let you talk to Victor Ortiz, all right? I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking
heard him.
about?
You never give me a fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You not shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
You won't do shit.
Family, now let me ask you, do you see a pattern? Do you see a level of disrespect that no other group gets in that ring from these boxing commentators and these mainstream journalists that talk to our fighters a certain way? They are comfortable with disrespecting them, even though they know that if a fight were to break out, they wouldn't stand a chance. They don't care if you're standing there holding your child. They don't care if you were just getting your head rocked and you're still standing. They will get in the ring and disrespect you. So I ask you again, is it just our imagination running away with me? Or do we have a valid claim? And the devil's advocate, or just a plain devil, might say, well, that's just Larry Merchant. He's not here anymore. Okay. Next tape.
That hey, I understand what Floyd Mayweather has done. He said, man, I'm gonna put on the black hat and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna be the villain. But does every African American fighter have to be the villain? No, I don't think that's fair.
Well, I can speak as somebody who's worked with a black fighter, James Cody, who's not soft-spoken. And was
right, smoking man.
was a little more abrasive in that, and we're not able to get any endorsements, and we weren't able to really maximize. I mean, I think he was one of the greatest middleweights, super middleweights of that era in the 90s.
Totally.
And his personality got in the way because of the opposite of what you're saying. He wasn't a God-fearing, soft-spoken, technical fighter. He went in there and he would take your head off, and if he could, he'd take your mother's head off. And he'd let you know that. So is that what people want? Do you want that thug mentality? Is that what the media wants to portray?
In this clip, you have the great SOG, Son of God, Andre Ward. And in this clip, he is explaining his experience as a black top fighter, either being forced to be a villain or someone who can't sell at all, or they call you a runner. All cold words to call us something else. Everyone else is called brave just for showing up, or he has heart for getting knocked down and getting up. And in the best way possible, Andre Ward is trying to explain this. And the woman who is not even a black man or a fighter completely disregards what he says and tells the group what she feels based off her experience with a black middleweight that she represented in the 90s. So I ask you again, is it just our imagination? Matter of fact, I need the fellas to help me.
It was just my imagination.
But let's pivot for a second. There is accountability that we do need to address. There are things going on right now in boxing that 20, 30 years ago, it would not have been normal. You always had a Sambo, if you will, among the group, one or two. But it's so many right now, it's like we're infested with roaches. And they all have the goal to make sure that the future generation of our boxers will be the sharecroppers of the sport. What do I mean? Let's talk about it.
¡Podemos, cabrones! ¡Viva México!
You feel as though Las Vegas is your home as well?
It's my second home, but Las Vegas es la segunda casa también de todos los mexicanos. Aquí celebramos al 100%. El mundo es de los mexicanos porque estamos en todos lados. ¡Viva México! ¡Hey!
Imagine how it must have felt being in that arena as a Mexican, being anywhere on that night and hearing Canelo Alvarez, a warrior from his tribe, acknowledging the struggles of his people. And even though he had his own trials and tribulations going on right there in Mexico with family, he still acknowledged his people, and his people stood behind him. Now, imagine if Black Americans had a champion, better yet, a heavyweight champion that represented us. How would we treat him? Wait a second. Let's go back in history.
Radio Raheem. Listen, man, you said that your people have been fighting for 400 years.
Man, your people too.
So I just want you to explain what you mean by that.
You know what I'm talking about. Y'all all know what I'm talking about, man. Don't sit up here and try to bait and not know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say these things. Your people too.
Explain it. Not everybody knows what you're talking about.
Radio Raheem, I don't have to explain what's understood, man. You know what I mean by that. You know what I said by that. I ain't gotta go further. And if anybody don't understand that, then God be with them. Go look up the history. You know what I'm talking about, man. You know what I dare you to sit up there and say, explain. You know what I'm talking about, man. His fighting people. You know we've been fighting 400 and still fighting to this day. To this day. To this day. You just sit here and you don't know what I'm talking about?
Of what you saw tonight between Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko, two men in your weight class.
Lomachenko should be undisputed champion. He won.
Wow.
He won that fight.
What was it about his performance tonight that makes you say that he deserved the win?
He landed the cleaner punches. He landed the cleaner shots on Dev.
Now look at that, family. We had a heavyweight champion who was one of the hardest hitting heavyweights in boxing history. And look at the foolishness that has happened since then. I believe that maybe we are getting exactly what we deserve. The foolishness, the disrespect, the lynching that they are doing of Devin the Dream Haney in mainstream media. The disrespect that him and his father are getting at these press conferences. This is a result of the cowardice in our own community. We cheer for our own people to fall. No other tribe does that, just us. And we have a woman, the GWOAT, Clarissa T-Rex Shields, as the only black fighter to have the testicular fortitude to speak up against Ryan Garcia. These people have no respect for you all. And when I say these people, those who secretly hate you. And they feel comfortable enough to disrespect you in front of your women, your children, and the world. And you all don't see this. No man is above the condition of his people. That is something that Canelo Alvarez understands. That is something that Lomachenko and Usyk understands. That is something that Inoue understands when they represent their people. But some of you spineless, cowardice men of our own tribe seem to not understand because of your hate, your self-hate, and your hate for your brother. So in the beginning, I asked the question, is it just our imagination that there is a racial bias? But now it seems we have to ask ourselves another question. How do we deal with the enemies within? How do we deal with fighters who don't really see themselves as a part of our tribe, but they come up through the amateurs? They come up by being trained by people from our community, and we support them. And then when they make their first 500,000, their first million, now they don't represent the people anymore. Think about that. The Klan used to attack our ancestors wholesale, drag them out their homes, do all types of things to our women. And Ryan Garcia said that he wanted to be with them. And you all thought that it wasn't a big deal because your hate for Devin made it okay. And then you all get on FaceTime and you're smiling and cheesing with Ryan Garcia. But you want to tell me about Bill. The hypocrisy, the cowardice. So you might ask yourself, well, Coach, what should we do? The fighters that are coming up, we have to support them and we have to hold them accountable. And I realize that we're not all going to be together, because our women and children should be proud and feel the same way those women and children feel when Canelo Alvarez stands up like a man. When Usyk, the heavyweight champion of the world, stands up like a man. I leave you all in peace and give you this to think about.
So, all you scared to death Negroes, to defend our enemy. You sit down and you shut up and tell your master to come on out and deal with this.